The Heresy Accountabilibuddies Podcast is dedicated to all things Horus Heresy. This podcast delves into the grimdark universe where Primarchs clash, legions rise, and loyalties fracture faster than a Land Raider's track. But it's not just about the lore of the Horus Heresy. The Accountabilibuddies also explore the gaming side of things, from painting and modeling tips to product reviews and ideas to help you in your hobby. So, whether you're a seasoned Forge World veteran or a fresh-faced scout, this podcast is your Vox channel to the galaxy. Expect discussions on lore, modeling, gaming, and maybe even the shenanigans that your hosts somehow seem to find their way into. Remember, in the grim darkness of the far future, there are only two things you can count on: Heresy and your trusty Accountabilibuddies.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 101 of Heresy Accountabilibuddies. Well, we have a jam-packed full episode tonight, but I'm going to kick it over to the other host of this. My name is Jack, and with me tonight is...
Dan.
Duncan.
And
John.
And two special guests.
I'm Zac.
And this is Derek.
Thank you all for joining us today. So before we get too far into it, we're going to kick it over to some station identification.
Do you love resin bases? Then go to our sponsor, Elric Hobbies, for all of your basing and basing accessory needs. Use code HERESYABB at checkout for a discount. Legendary Monument Hobbies. Monument Hobbies is a one-stop shop for all of your painting needs. Use code HERESYABB at checkout for a 5% discount on your purchase. Pop Goes the Monkey. Find maker of third-party accessory bits of arms, legs, backpacks, and more, where you can get 10% off your first order over $125 with code HERESYABB at checkout.
And I want to also thank our Patreon members. Because of you, we get to do fun stuff like making Duncan do stuff. Because I love making Duncan do stuff. So to kick it off into our normal routine, John, what's new?
Well, hold on. We did last week discuss that before we did anything else, we would start doing the event shoutouts and
Shoutouts. So, event
Yes.
shoutouts. What events do we have why Duncan can still be heard?
Bama Blake was discussing how there are 0 tickets.
I think that 0 tickets left for their January event.
So
if you want, go and are interested, contact them so they can see about getting more space or getting on a wait list.
And do you remember the name of that event, Dan?
Kairos Prime. The destruction of Kairos Prime.
Yeah. But it's the Alabama Heresy Facebook group, I think, is at least one way to contact them all and get a hold of them.
I know they have a very active Facebook community going on, so I know it will be all over that. We also have a Battle Barn event going on the, what Saturday is that? Saturday the 9th. They'll be doing a Thanksgiving themed event. Thanksgiving. I'm not sure if it's actually Thanksgiving like we remember it being Thanksgiving, or if it's just themed for donation of goods and stuff like that.
Your Thanksgiving is then. Our Thanksgiving in Dallas will be on Saturday, November 23rd at 10:30. And so that is Operation Oculus, which will be catered by yours truly. So I'm hungry and eat turkey.
So you'll have the meat.
I bring the meat.
You always bring the meat, sir. You always bring the meat. Are there any other events going on that we need to shout out that we can think of off the top of our heads? Because we're professional podcasters.
I mean, we're going to be talking about AdeptiCon a whole lot, but that's...
Yeah, I think that's it for so far.
Okay.
Yep, that's all I know of.
All right. John, take us away.
All right. So this week in Heresy pre-orders, we happen to get a little bit of stuff coming up. It's just that special or house combat weapons sprue upgrade set is coming out. We got it finally revealed that kind of my worst fears were realized, that everything is going to be as it was pictured. So all the axes and maces and pistols are all going to be specific hands that they're shown. So most of the close combat weapons are right-handed. All the pistols are going to be left-handed. And then obviously the two-handed weapons are two-handed.
It is
We're
all
also going to
plastic,
have,
right? I mean, I'm not
Yep.
crazy that this is a plastic and not a resin set, right?
It will be all plastic.
There is a lot of stuff in there, though.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
a pretty
complaining
stacked
about
set.
what it is. I'm just
stacked.
saying it could have been more awesomer.
Hello?
Hello, Dan.
Dan?
Dan.
Hello, Dan?
It is plastic. This is a plastic set, right?
Yes, Dan. It is a plastic set.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
I asked that and then it went quiet for me. I don't know. Maybe I.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yes,
guess
it is
you
still
cut out.
plastic.
Just to pull the curtain back for everybody listening, there seemed to be, for some reason, a lot of connection errors going on in this podcast. Maybe a warp storm out by the moon. Maybe Duncan's computer gave everything herphagonosyphilitis. Maybe John's dog farted. Who knows?
Yep. 100
Well,
episodes
well.
of decent, and we start off the bat with Meatball passes gas and Duncan goes disconnected. We'll figure it out eventually, listeners.
I'm hoping
But,
I'm disconnected right now, but we'll see.
The one time you came through perfectly for a whole sentence.
He got a sentence all the way through. That's an
Yeah, I got a
improvement.
sentence.
That's the second one.
It's like really
So-
clear. Yeah.
Alongside the close combat brew box is also the return of the white, what originally used to be called Apocalypse Blast templates. So the Hellstorm, the Apocalyptic Barrage, and Apocalyptic Blast are all coming back to pre-order or to order from GW directly. Honestly, it's a great thing these are coming back. They've been reaching astronomical prices on eBay, as well as a lot of laser cutters have been kind of doing custom jobs for everybody. So they'll be coming back in white, clear white acrylic, as well as GW's Christmas Mini, which is the red abominable snowman. And so it's a goblin. He built the snowman out of bombs.
That's kind of neat looking model. I will also say I am looking forward to this. The templates being available. I've never managed to pick those up and haven't decided to buy any third-party ones. So I will actually be ordering that and excited to get a copy of those.
Yeah, I will say you're probably going to be sticker shocked because if I remember correctly, they were almost $30 for each template because they were sold individually. Yeah,
Well, we'll see. If it's that, then I probably won't. If it's $30 for a set or 35, maybe even, I'll definitely have a set. So I guess we'll see where it comes.
yeah. I'm going to see if some of our friends, maybe Josh, can do laser cut custom ones, but we'll have to talk to him about that. Outside of straight, do what?
I was gonna say, I bet there's some out there that already have them too, most likely.
Yeah. There's some of the, like I said, some of the people that do laser cut stuff. We're also doing custom ones for people, so they're out there. Outside of official GW from Starforge, they released what they're calling set 3 of Purity Seals. So this is going to be more Death Watch related. White Scar Salamander and Iron Hand. Again, these are their new kind of pin back / magnet back, so you can kind of customize which way you want to use these Purity Seals. They also came out with a Space Marine 2 Titus's Chainsword keychain and a Space Marine 2 Teleport Homer / Deep Strike Homer. This is that little gubbin thing that came with the Indominus Terminator box set, but it's the big metal keychain. Looks like a boat anchor. And then also from official GW is the Angel's Tears Joy Toys. If you want your War Crimes squad to be in 1/18 scale, you can now do that. There was one other official release. I'm just going to pull it up real quick. So the company, there's one company out there called Pool Toys Club. And what they do is they do custom pieces to go along with some of the Joy Toy releases. And they've been releasing all of the drawn but never officially released by GW Primark helmets. But they'll do them in stupidly short runs, like 15 at a time. So if you're interested, I would definitely subscribe to their email list. Again, that is Pool Toys Club, and they're based out of China, so shipping is not super fast. I've placed a couple orders with them, but I'm still kind of waiting for the stuff to arrive. They did a custom sculpted Dorn's pain glove that I picked up, and I think I got the helmet for Horus from them as well. And that's really all of our pre-orders this week. We're kind of a little spotty, but it's definitely nice to see that close combat sprue come into fruition.
Yeah, so I have a kind of a question about that with the re-release of the Apocalypse templates. Are they looking at re-releasing Apocalypse rules?
These aren't yet Apocalypse templates. They are officially now designated Heresy templates.
Because standard 40K doesn't use any templates anymore.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah, and Apocalypse doesn't either. So they're the Hellstorm template, the Apocalyptic Barrage, and Apocalyptic Mega Blast are all Heresy exclusive now.
But I think there's weapons units in the game that use each of those templates right now, right?
Yeah, so the Cerastus Knight, the Castigator, not the Acheron, the one with the giant chain fist and flamethrower uses the Hellstorm template. The Malkador Infernus uses the Hellstorm template, and there's a couple other ones that do too. So
the Warhound.
And then the Warhound, and then the Super Giant Mega Blast is also used by most of the Titans. The Barrage is used by a lot of the larger artillery pieces, as well as all of the Carapace missile launchers from Titans.
Yeah,
I figured it was places for it.
I knew it was all the larger vehicles and war machines that used it. I don't know. Maybe there's a big enough demand. I was just kind of surprised they brought them back. But yeah, I know they're needed. But
I mean, it could also lend itself to more. We're all thinking Dark Mech's coming, right? So there could be more need for them with some of the Dark Mech models they're thinking to bring.
That's true.
That's what I
wouldn't mind a return to like the 7th edition APOC rules that had the combat cards and the points to spend and all that stuff. I know I still have all my stuff sleeved up. Yeah, and some of the formations weren't crazy.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping. It's kind of like at least a updated Apocalypse rule set would be nice.
There could be a new narrative setting book on the way that could have extra rules on that. Who knows what GW has in the pipeline.
Yeah, that wouldn't be that hard for us to just take that over. I know Tick and some of the Fierce guys do a pretty good job of that too. So kind of updating that to make it not so ancient.
Yeah, it definitely helped.
I saw rumors that I think he's doing army construction somehow for the big game this year instead of just brung what you brung kind of thing, which is interesting. Adding a little deeper element to it.
That's cool. I always liked a lot of Apocalypse games. They cancel out the small troopers, but to me, that's always the coolest thing because the flag on Iwo Jima wasn't raised by the special ops guys. It was raised by a couple farmer kids.
Yeah, that was the most fun I had with Fomentarus in first edition. Was throw them in a bunker in an APOC game. Everyone kept shooting all the other stuff and forgot about it, so they were actually able to do some damage.
Out of sight, out of mind.
That is all of the news. Duncan or Jack, what do you want to cover next?
Let's go over Hobby Progress. Yeah, why not? So, John, what have you been working on?
All right. So, I've been trying to get through this Ultramarine backlog, and everyone knows I sort them by tubs. And so I've gone through and started applying the final layer of paint before I start worrying about decals and weathering and all the next steps. And so I've gone through 6 tubs of Marines, and a tub is anywhere between 20 and 50 Marines, kind of depending on how I've sorted them into subcategories. I have 4 more tubs to go. And then that was during the week. I ran out of paint and tried to go find some today, but sadly, all the paint comes from Hobby Lobby, and so they're closed today, so I couldn't find any. But yesterday, I kind of oversaw the Titanicus and Legions Imperialis event that we ran at the Dallas Games Marathon store. And while I wasn't really playing anything, I was just kind of there to supply all the terrain and everything. I went ahead and built 6 more jet bikes. Since we've had some character releases since I finished the jet bike army, I've had some ideas for some characters, but I didn't really have any more empty jet bikes. So I had to build some jet bikes to kind of work through my characters that way. And then I've also started the gap filling on some of the Arvis knockoffs that I'm going to be using in my Solar Ox list. So when I get my shipment from Jamie, I can just do some quick paint jobs on them, throw some Cobra decals on them, and try out this new way to play Solar Ox. It's going to be all plane mounted. So we'll see how that works. Apart from that, I've been doing a ton of cleaning and trying to find new homes for some stuff around the house. So that has been all I've done. What about you, Mr. Jack? What have you been up to?
I bought paint. See here, workshop a couple ideas with Duncan. He said that, and I quote, "You're an idiot."
No, I did not.
You are incompetent.
I did not.
You don't know what you're talking about.
No.
I think he called me an imbecile, which I was impressed because imbecile's not a word that gets thrown around a lot. And then he said, "I look forward to you doing it next year." Duncan, you're just breaking up too bad. Nobody knows what you're talking about. It's the COVID or whatever you have. And then he slapped me around because he's mean like that.
That's true.
He's abusive. And then he
yeah,
pooped
you
in
probably
his bed.
giggled in response, though, so it's okay.
He did.
But no. All seriousness, I bought paint and then I turned on the lights at my hobby station and looked at what I needed to get done, and I'm starting to make a list of ETAs for when I want to actually start working on stuff, so I can actually start planning in the time that I have coming off here in the next couple weeks, make the use out of it, because I beat MechWarrior 5 that I was talking about last week after 40 hours worth of playing. So now I have hobby time. Dan, what about you?
All right. So I actually have some progress this week. So I have cleaned up and prepped for priming the Warhammer exclusive Praetor, including adding some brass edge bits to make him look a little more ultramarine flare-y. By prepping up, he's all blue tacked together because I'm putting a different head in, so I want to paint the head separately from the model, so I got to prime him. I did prime his head. I primed my Erasmus Inquisitor model. I have sourced all of my bits to make the Cataphracti command squad that goes along with that Praetor. So that's they're going to be all hammers and a banner bearer guy. So I have everything I need. I ordered some Dragonforge bases because that's what the rest of my Ultramarine army is on. If you're not aware, I think he's out of Ohio, single man operation, like pours all the resin bases, really, really cool stuff. It's known to be slow, but I ordered them on Tuesday and it was only 20 bases or so. I got them yesterday. So tonight I am sitting here putting together Cataphracti. So I hope to have them built and primed this week and start putting some colors down on this unit I'm adding to my Ultramarines. So that's my progress. Duncan, what you been up to?
Well, depending on if it's going to let me speak through this.
So far, so good.
I went over some plans with Jack that were absolutely asinine. I told him how asinine. I told him that.
And he's gone?
You were good until you said asinine.
Yeah. Basically, he said my plans were asinine. I don't know what I'm talking about. Like I said before, literally just tore me down with all my hobby motivation.
I am a cruel person.
That's confirmation.
So to be fair, were your plans asinine?
Yes. Absolutely they were. And still are. And they're awesome.
I was going to say, the more important question, were they fun?
Yeah, they're fun.
Probably for everybody else, not for me.
I worked on more Rampagers, the end. So, Derek, what have you done lately?
Last time I worked on some Heresy stuff was actually for the Michigan GT a few weeks ago, or a month ago. Wow, time flies. Since then, I did a large overhaul of my hobby room. Just stuff collected over the years in piles, and I decided to make the piles go away and get a bit organized. So now I can find stuff again until it collects into piles again.
Finding stuff is important.
Sounds good.
I'm not gonna lie.
And then the process repeats itself. But it's always good to have a tidied up hobby room. Even if it's not 100%, it still feels good.
It's better than nothing, sir.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I also found my Archisponsons that had been lost since first edition. So now I can actually have the Model V WYSIWYG as to how it plays in this edition.
Yeah, I have no idea where most of my sponsons are for all my various Sicarians at all. I'm not going to try.
I wasn't looking for them, to be fair. I was looking for Brass Edge Ultramarine stuff, which I eventually found. But
well, isn't that the rule? You only find something when you're not looking for it, and if you're looking for it, you're never going to find it.
Pretty much. So I also have to paint them up, or don't have to, but I'm going to paint them up for AdeptiCon as well. So that model will be WYSIWYG.
No, you're right. The first time you have to.
Okay, fair. I'm not going to argue.
All right. What else you been working on, sir?
Oh, that's it. That's pretty much it for me.
Okay. What about you, Zach?
Oh, man. Well, I've been doing a lot of stuff for work, which I don't know if I mentioned it last time. We had moved a house from Alabama to Detroit, and it was a major secret project. I'm happy that is now done, and it is all in place.
You reveal the secret now?
Yeah, it's the
Your work moved a house?
We moved a house. We acquired. So I work for a museum, and
that's kind of not giving it enough props for what it is.
I work for the Henry Ford Museum and Greenfield Village. So
Greenfield Village is, well, a village that has, I don't know what, 3 dozen or so historic
buildings
that they've brought from Europe or various parts of North America.
So yeah, we have
farm and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, there's a working farm there. We have horse-drawn carriages. We have Thomas Edison's Menlo Park labs where he discovered electricity and everything else. We have the house that all of his engineers stayed in. It was the first house that was wired for electricity that's across the street. We have the Wright brothers' home. We have the Wright brothers' bicycle shop. We have just a bunch of things. We have the building that Abraham Lincoln practiced law in, out of Illinois. But the house that we acquired is the Jackson House, which is the home that the entire civil rights marches, everything that happened down in Selma, Alabama, was all planned there. So Martin Luther King Jr. did all that work in there with all of his people, and we now have that, and it's been moved up from 2 different halves, moved out of Selma. It was put into a secret storage building outside of Detroit until we had the actual place where it was going to go set up, and now that it's there and on site, now we can actually talk about it. So that was a big project that's been taking up a vast part of my year. In addition to that, which won't make any sense at the moment, but I taught myself Adobe Premiere Pro, which it is Heresy related. I swear it won't make sense until like a couple weeks from now. I bought, thanks to Derek getting the awesome company Villainy Inc. to sponsor some of our Heresy events last year. I ended up buying a couple bottles of their Villainy Inc. I got Carrion Crimson and I think it's Colia Green. It's really neat stuff. Yeah, it's fantastic stuff. I've been dinking around with it with some test models. I slapped it on a Necromunda Goliath because I finally decided, I should actually paint some of this stuff. Just a couple little things when I've had the chance. I've been slowly planning my Marvel Crisis Protocol, the Worthy painting competition for piece for AdeptiCon for next year. And outside of that, I've just, been in a lab with a pen and a pad trying to get all our event lists out. So that's it. That's it for me.
I think that's a wonderful segue to talking about said events. It's like you knew what you're doing. You've done this before, haven't you, sir?
I've been around the block once or twice.
That's what she said. Anyway.
That's right.
Oh, unfortunate.
So, tell us about I don't want to ask leading questions because I don't know what we can and can't talk about. So I'm gonna let you lead the conversation and what we can talk about and not put my foot in my mouth about it. Is that fair?
That's fair.
Okay,
that's absolutely fair. And I think most of it we can talk about. Like,
I don't see why we can't just reveal pretty much everything.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm really not too worried about it. I mean,
there's indecency laws, so you can't reveal everything.
No full Monties.
That's fair. Luckily, this is
the internet. We don't believe in indecency laws, sir.
Okay.
I'll say, luckily, this is a
My
podcast,
state requires an
not a
ID
video
check first.
Yes.
I do recorded the screen capture, so keep that in mind.
They do have a Wednesday hobby hangout, and I've never been on it, but I'm just gonna,
Well, now you might never will.
That's it.
All right, so
it's no longer a hobby hangout.
So the big,
or you're getting someone trying to subscribe to your OnlyFans.
There you go.
So the big TLDR that I know is safe to talk about is the fact that we're no longer in Chicago. We're in Wisconsin and Milwaukee. That's the first big thing. Everybody that's listening to the podcast should already know that. Everybody should know the dates for it. But if you don't know the dates, I don't know the dates off the top of my head, but it's towards the end of March. So
correct. Yeah. Yes, it's definitely in the
March 26th to 30th, 2025.
Okay. So with this move of venue that has given the community as a whole opportunities to expand offerings for, would it be fair to say, basically any game system that would want it to expand their horizons? This across the board?
That is the current understanding of what is occurring.
Okay.
Yeah, the Center is huge compared to previous years, and it should have lots of room for expansion for years to come.
Yeah,
I think the overall convention center is more than 10 times the size of what Schaumburg is, and they've got somewhere in the 3 to 4 times what Schaumburg was booked for next year or something along those lines. I think is what the numbers I read or the impression I got. So lots of room to expand and lots more room. And that 3 to 4 times includes both the main convention center and the offsite community college, where a lot of the historic stuff was tucked away and was separate from the main convention hall already.
Yeah, everything will be brought back in-house.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, so I'm very excited. I don't get to sleep in my own bed, and I have to spend hotel money, but I am extremely geeked for it to be in a larger venue.
And the area is really easy to get to, comparatively. Like, there's a tram station not super far. They got buses, and the area that the Baird Center is in, there's tons of places to eat, drink, shop, whatever you want to do within walking distance.
I will also be reminiscing because in my youth, it was the Mecca Convention Center, and that was where Gen Con was. Back when Gen Con was about the size of what AdeptiCon is nowadays. So I have spent time in the previous incarnation of this convention center, and it will be fun throwbacks. I'm excited.
Okay. Yeah, so this initial year, we're going to go from a place where we were really crowded and we had to send people to out buildings, essentially. Hotel. Yeah, and then suddenly everything is going to be back in-house, but it's a much bigger building, so it might actually feel kind of more empty at first, but everything will be in-house. All the vendors will all be in one area, and it won't be split between two different locations and stuff like that. So,
yeah, the Adepticon will grow into it swimmingly, I think.
Yeah, I don't think that's a problem. It's normal growing pains or whatever, moving from the next thing. Those of you who had attended it when it was just in Lombard, and then when we moved to Schaumburg, you understand, how it was like, oh, we have all this space, and
we'll
now
never
it's just been
this.
A few years later, like, yeah, exactly, yeah.
I mean, looking back, that's kind of a good feeling to have, where you think like, oh, it's it's so big, we're gonna have so much space for the years to come. It's it's be like this every year. We're never gonna feel this or fill this. And then all of a sudden, years down the line, even after COVID, you're shoulder to shoulder with people, and you're like, oh man, it's cramped in here. It really is a testament to how much the hobby has grown since then, which is exciting.
Okay, so we're dancing around a lot of what we want to talk about, but let's dig into the meat of it. Kicking off with Heresy 2025, newer, bigger, better, brighter, stronger? Question mark.
I mean, sure, you could add all those tags to it if you want. Sounds good to me. It probably won't be the official tagline, but everyone has their own personal tagline. That could be yours.
Heresy 2025, more heresier.
Don't more hairier.
Yep.
Because that's
fantastic. So what's the big things that we want to cover during this?
So for our stuff in the last few years, we were just kind of getting ourselves
post-COVID recovery, essentially.
And kind of with the Grand Legion leaving, we're just trying to get everything back up and running, as far as what events we want to run, what kind of offerings we've had, which in the years past we've done attrition, we've done teams, we've done the grudge match event, and all that, and now we're locked in. We have a good crew of people to that want to run events and have they have a passion for heresy, and that's always like the end goal right there. But this year we're buckling down. We're going to do a full-on campaign for the weekend, so it's not going to feel like disparate events. We're still going to have a variety of events to play in, but everything is going to feed into the new campaign.
It's going to be an overall narrative for Adepticon.
Fantastic. And again, not trying to lead anything. Do we have anything new or different coming down the pipeline that we may have not done in the past?
Yeah, for sure.
Sort of. Kind of. Yes and no.
Okay. We have a lot of familiar things coming back. So we have the BAG, the large apocalyptic battle. That is a Adepticon staple. Is returning. So bring all your Titans, bring all your big tanks, and bring all your stuff, and just throw down till it starts pretty late and goes, and no really determined end time as far as I know. It just kind of goes till people are done.
All right. I always
Yeah.
love the
We
back.
also have-
Right, and that'll be that is our plan for like for Thursday night. But we'll have events Thursday and Friday and Saturday and Sunday again is our plan. We'll actually have things
That is
all
one of the-
weekend.
One of the big things we have this year or upcoming year is an event on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Ran by
I
your
wonder what
trooper,
that's
Duncan.
Yay.
Yeah.
We've got who did we sucker into that thing?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Some Yahoo that just signed up for it. So you can go through the days, honestly.
Okay.
So Thursday events are actually run by our illustrious hosts, Jack and Duncan here. We have 2 events that day. The first one of them is a escalation event that's run by Duncan.
Huh.
Is that all you guys?
So,
Huh?
no, I
No.
didn't know if Duncan you wanted to talk about it, or if you kind of want us to just do a
No,
quick
no.
rundown
I
about it.
considering how unreliable my my microphone is right now, I'd rather you talk out the information.
Oh yeah, of course. So Duncan, you'll be running. You volunteered to run it's called the Crisis in the Grail Abyss. It's a escalation event, so people start at 2,000 points, and as the games go on throughout the day, subsequent rounds will have increased points levels, and it represents the ramp up for the narrative as forces gather and start combating one another. Jack,
I will be running what I am envisioning as the people who are like me, who have don't get a large chance to play, as a knocking off the dust, getting warm back up, learning how to roll dice again, and hopefully learning how to love again. That's what I'm hoping to get from my event.
how to love Heresy again.
It's scheduled
And
for.
I don't think you're the only person like that. I know there's lots of people that would rather show up for like one game, or like not game for the entire day, but would like just to get 1 or 2 games of Heresy in, and then take it easy.
Yeah, and the idea behind it is it's gonna provide missions. If you play the missions, great. If you don't play the missions, great. If you just got in, you haven't seen your buddy in a long time, and you want to play with them or against them, great. That's what it's for. It's to have fun, knock off the dust, and get us ready for everything that is coming for the rest of the weekend.
And both of these events will sort of start off the narrative and kind of set the tone for either the traitor or the loyalist forces throughout the weekend.
So I know we're kind of discussing it in a way, and we're kind of going around. Do we want to actually state what our campaign is?
That would be cool if you did. Yes, I would love
Yeah.
We didn't already? I thought we did.
No, we've been just kind of dancing around it.
Oh, I thought that was the first thing we did. Well, go for it. Yeah,
no.
Tell him, Zach.
So all of this is actually based around the war in the Grail Abyss. So we're actually taking a setting directly from the old Black Books, and we're just taking that little snippet of information of a couple of pages, and we're fleshing it out so it actually is rooted directly into the lore that was set out by Alan Bly, by the entire team of Forge World back in the day, and that's what we're taking and running with. So everything that we're talking about will be part of the war in the Grail Abyss.
Yeah.
So, what is the war in the Grail Abyss?
I'm sorry, Doctor. What was that?
John's dog farted again.
What is the war in the Grail Abyss?
Does anyone else want to take that one?
Oh God, no! Because that's a loaded question, and I'm going to mess it up.
Yeah, that's a
Loaded
lot.
question. I want to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, there are like 2 different sides, and they have a disagreement about stuff, and they're coming together
Something or another
to work it out, generally in fisticuffs.
Wow, that is specific.
Hot damn, Jack. That's Amazing.
Look, this is what happens when your microphone doesn't work. This is what you get.
You're right. It is.
All we can't tell you. Well, honestly, we'll tell you everything. So I believe this was mid to late Heresy for the setting, if I remember this correctly. If I'm off base, someone just let me know.
Early mid.
Oh, early mid. Okay, I got the mid part right, but in particular, we're going to focus on 3 different war zones or planets for this year of AdeptiCon, because this is something we would like to continue for future years and have these campaigns linked, which would be super cool. So 3 planets we chose for this year is we have a night world of Boroda. We have Grail, which is a dead world, but there's rumors of some lost unknown relics or STCs that could prove useful. And Lascal, which is a colonized world that has a fleet anchorage station outside of it. So it's very important for both the loyalist and traitor fleets to hold.
Okay. And so there is a big overarching story that can be found in the actual fluff about what's going on in the Grail a bit.
That's right. I believe it was... I'm trying to remember which book it was.
I know some of it can be found in book 4 and book 5.
Okay.
Outstanding. I'm not gonna lie, I have no clue what the fluff behind it. Duncan told me, but I wasn't listening.
Yeah. Anyway, it's early in the mid Heresy, and forgive me if I start cutting out again. It's off the beaten path, fleet anchorage primarily.
And he's
cut off again.
But it's cut off.
Everybody.
Fleet anchorage. People are fighting over it.
Over it, yes.
Okay.
So maybe I'm dumb and can't hear well. Could you spell something? Is it the Grail Abyss?
Grail, Grail.
Oh, okay.
Like the Holy Grail.
Okay. All right. So we're fighting over the Holy Grail in the Abyss. That makes sense.
Absolutely.
In the future, with lasers.
Sure. Why not?
Well,
So
it's not in the future. It's historic.
Oh, that's right.
It's the historic future.
So it's in the
future.
future past.
Yes.
Or the past future.
So yes, that is the setting for this year at AdeptiCon.
Well, that's cool. So that gives us readers, or listeners, not readers. Well, both, because it gives us listeners something to read and bone up on the backstory. So that's cool.
Yeah, and then you can kind of play out some of the battles that happened.
Sweet.
Both in your mind and on the tabletop.
Sweet.
So I guess we can get back to some of the events, if that's all right.
Absolutely.
Yes, please have at it.
Yeah, because I totally forgot we skipped that part. But yeah, so Thursday's the opening events, as it were, run by Jack and Duncan here, and that evening on Thursday we have the large Titanic apocalyptic battle with all the fun toys. Friday we'll see the return of the very popular Heresy doubles, so grab a teammate or sign up on your own and find a teammate and potential new life best friend and duke it out over the course of the day. I think 3 games for lots of fun doubles. Honestly, it's people just have fun. That event, it's the most chill, and I always
it's all beer. It's all beer and pretzels. But it's so well loved and requested every year that it's going to be with us for forever.
Thank goodness.
I seem to remember it being whiskey and was it gummy bears? But
whiskey and Portillo's. Oh, I know that's another combo.
I don't drink, so it doesn't really matter to me. Whatever you guys do.
Or water and bagels, whatever floats your boat.
There you go.
Bagel.
So that's going to be
that's Friday.
That's Friday.
Okay.
And Saturday we do have a new event, something I'm personally very excited for. So we are going to introduce the Horus Heresy Grand Team event. that will take after the very famous AdeptiCon 40K and Age of Sigmar team events, where this is where you have teams of 4, and you go against other teams of 4, and you split off your teams into duos to face another team that splits off into 2 games of duos. I'm very excited for it. I hope people will bring their good spirit towards it, like, and cool display boards like some of the other Adepticon team events, because everyone comes from far and wide to see the Adepticon team events, and you just see like coolest painted armies. You see really great display boards. You see people dressed up as you bring their teams bring their jerseys. People dress up as a freaking orc band. I really want to bring some of that kind of stuff to Heresy now, and that's why I'm kind of excited for it.
We knew 4 people who all played Ultramarines and knew each other.
But that's kind of the thing is every year when we do doubles, like there's always like the couple of people that go or they have like a third person, a third wheel, and so they're not really sure what to do, and they get kind of paired off in someone else. Well, now we can actually do like full on 4-on-4 teams, which will change the dynamic of how the weekend goes and how that particular event goes, but also on a hobby level, those hobbyists that want to actually do and make the big display board and have all 4 teams there, have that option. And we've discussed with other sections of Adepticon where if there are people that make a display board for all their armies and they want to be part of it, they can be in on the big Armies on Parade event as well that happens Saturday nights.
I'm not gonna lie, that's what I'm looking forward to the most is seeing those boards, seeing the hobby equity people are putting into their team displays. Not talking down about any other system, but I do believe we have the hardest hobbyers in our ecosystem at 30K players, and I cannot wait to see what that fruit bears during Adepticon this year. And hopefully, this is getting out early enough for people to be able to hear that there is going to be something like this out there that people can sink their teeth into and salivate and just bring to what I believe will be all new levels of hobby excellence.
Yeah, I've been
just like with the doubles, it's going to be 1,500 points a person, so you really don't need much to bring. On heck, you could even, if you have enough painted on your own, I know plenty of Heresy players have got 3,000 to 6,000 points of Heresy models that they can use, and if you want, you can make a whole team and just use your own army.
So I have a dumb logistic question.
Sure.
Will this be like a team lead buys a ticket for all 4 players? So it won't
just
be
like the other team events for Adepticon, like the 40K and Age of Sigmar 1, the team captain will purchase the ticket on behalf of the entire team.
Okay,
so
cool.
1 ticket equals 1 team of 4 people.
Makes sense. I just had to ask because it's
So
always confusing to me.
With the doubles, we sell the tickets, or not we, but the tickets are sold separately, because we like to encourage finding a teammate, right? And we've never had an issue with that in the past. And we've had plenty of people make new friends just by buying a ticket on their own, getting paired with someone for the day, and everyone's had a blast with that. It's a little bit harder to ad hoc that when you've got 4 people that need to do it.
Makes sense.
And we still want to promote that that 4-player team so they can for that hobby aspect, I guess is the way I want to put it. Because like Jack said, we often talk about how we have the best overall hobbyists around, and so now is the time to really, put our models where our mouths are.
Show it for the world to see.
That's it.
Cool.
All right, so that's Saturday, and that's going to be all day Saturday.
That's be all day Saturday.
That is the Saturday main event. Yeah, we're focused on that, and that's going to be the big thing.
New big venue,
Any idea how many
new
rounds
big venue,
we're going to be doing?
new bigger Heresy.
3 rounds.
3 rounds. Bring your ibuprofen. That's what I'm
rounds.
going to tell everybody to do. Bring your ibuprofen.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's a solid con tip.
Yeah, that's always in my con go bag.
To be fair.
All right.
Ibuprofen, allergy meds, whatever.
Yeah, none of our hobbyists are getting any younger here.
Which is,
another
whole entire another conversation.
Yeah.
All right. So
not yet.
I mean, I upgraded to methocarbamol a while ago, so.
So anything else going on
that's
Saturday? That's all Saturday?
No, that's it.
Okay. Now
that's
Sunday?
The big Saturday thing. Sunday, our very first Sunday event in quite some time is going to be run by our good man Duncan here, and it's going to be a very large 2-round
that's what she
event.
said.
Very large 2 rounds. 4,000 points a player. You're encouraged to bring the bigger stuff, and it will be the cap of the narrative for the weekend. Represent all the forces that have been gathering and finding supplies, relics, what have you, and this will be the big drawn out finisher fight.
And then
it's a big 4K game.
Sweet.
And then will there still be Heresy After Dark and stuff like that going on?
Yeah, probably.
Oh yeah, there'll be. The idea is that we're going to have the ability to do a lot of open gaming.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to keep it. I was trying to play it all nonchalant, but yes, it will be there.
Yeah. Certain events that are single model in a squared circle will still occur, and there's one of the things that Jason Tick wants to try out, and then we can see how it goes and test and make it as a full event next year, depending on the reception. Is instead of just having the BAG, he wants a BAT, so it's just all Titans. So just a big game with the larger tanks. He wants to see if we can do a full Titan one.
So if you're looking for
it's going to be
that's for 26
strictly
or
tight.
I'm sorry?
Is that for 26 or 25? That plan?
We'll be doing that for 25. It's just kind of like as an ad hoc after dark kind of thing. Won't be a ticketed event, but it's something just because we want to see like what kind of interest we have, and then if it has an interest, then we can make it a full on thing in 26.
Nice.
That's the plan.
All right, so that's the.
There is one more thing.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I would say there's one more thing that is actually going to be happening all weekend long. Is Brian will be running Zo Mortalis games all weekend.
Every single day.
Every single day. So he's going to be doing
Twice a day.
sessions a day, an AM and a PM, and each session will be 2 rounds, and it'll be a similar format as Jax, where if you just want to get a game or 2 of Zo Mortalis in for the day, then you just come on by, and smaller points levels. I think it's going to be about 2,000, and do some close quarters boarding actions.
All right.
Sweet.
What are, obviously, without going to saying this, the blanket for everything is everything needs to be painted to the Heresy standard. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, it'll be the basically the same as all the other game systems at Adepticon.
So 3-color minimum,
Yep.
system appropriate, marks of armor, all that good stuff.
That's 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah, everything's just going to follow the
Adepticon,
same.
if they have it already, just read previous years, the model policy for previous years. Because it is at Adepticon, so it will abide by the Adepticon policy.
We'll have the black light checking for actual Forge World resin versus not.
No, Dan.
I'm
Why
getting
do you
my
even do that?
getting my magnifying glasses.
Because I was being sarcastic. It's
Gonna do a biopsy of all your
Great.
models.
Yes,
it could.
Great, Dan.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
also
it's great.
we'll be just sitting in the we'll just be sitting in the lazy boy chair with our monocle and
oh my god,
saying yes, this works or no, it doesn't, and it'll all be based on your paint skill.
And I think another thing to make sure that we get in front of. Yes, we're 2 years, by that point almost 3 years into this new edition, but with the release of Space Marine 2, there are a lot of new people coming into this hobby. I'm not sure where we're going to be at this new location, but we're going to have a lot of eyes on us. So, make sure we're being very hobby friendly and hobby open with people that are coming up and asking questions, because it's a great time for us to shine as a community.
Yeah,
and honestly, even in previous years, I don't think I've ever seen any kind of issue with doing that. If like the Heresy community is probably one of like the best gaming communities I've been with, and everyone's like, people aren't really here to be like super competitive. Everyone's just here to have a good time, and it's just the best attitude that any game system in any community could have.
Absolutely.
And every year we have at the beginning of our events we have a show of hands, and I swear like a quarter to a half of the people there, it's their first Adepticon, and a lot of times it's their first time actually playing Heresy. So in like a big event like that, so we've done really well as a community in and of ourselves, to have a lot of people come in, try new things, have a blast, because a lot of the time this is kind of like their bucket list event. Not everyone lives right in the Chicagoland area or can just pop on over. Chicagoland has a huge population, so that does help. But as we already know, we get people from Texas and Kentucky and every other place. Plus, you have your Canadians, you have your people that are over from Great Britain. It is a destination spot, and it is a destination game event that we have. And just be prepared.
We prepare, be prepared to have fun and throw some dice.
Okay, so
make new friends.
So we have all that,
or make new enemies.
Jesus. All right, so we have
frenemies.
Frenemies. There you go.
Frenemies. So we have the outline of what's going on. There's going to be a very much an overarching narrative going on from day to day to day that will, grand scheme of things, planning on to be a yearly increase in the narrative. Is that a fair statement to wrap it all up into a bubble, where it's going to be a lot of hobby focused and friendly people getting together to play the game that they spend a lot of time on.
That's right.
And making new frenemies as we go along. Okay, I'm gonna put you both on the spot.
That's frenemies.
All right.
Okay.
What are you looking forward to? No, you have been the whole entire time, because horrible host right here.
That's right.
I'm not gonna lie, horrible. What are y'all
you're
looking?
Doing just fine, Jay.
Thank you, sir. You're welcome back on anytime. Zach, you lost your chance there.
And I've already been kicked off once. I know.
What are y'all looking?
I was here at the beginning, and now I'm gone. I know.
What are y'all looking to for it the most out of everything? Not talking about the new venue, because I think everybody, not talking bad about last year, but I think with how cramped we were last year, everybody's kind of looking forward to that, except for maybe Dan.
Yeah.
So food trucks outside the venue is not an acceptable answer.
No,
okay,
the venue itself is not an acceptable answer. But if you want to talk about food trucks,
that's
like,
true.
Wait, does that mean being excited about all the beer places nearby are out too?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you can do that too.
Because they have a freaking place where you can go and mix and, well, it's kind of almost blasphemous, but mix and match your own beers if you wanted to, where they have got like 100 different taps and you just sort of find one and choose it.
There's nothing wrong with a snake bite.
Some of the Adepticon staff have already been scoping out eateries and places within short walking distance from the venue. Yeah, so
is that what you're looking forward to the most? Is the food trucks? And
no, no, it isn't.
Honestly,
I was just trying to be my normal, unserious self.
Honestly, for me, I'm just excited to see the community grow and for people to show up and have fun. It's just if everyone shows up and has a freaking blast and makes new friends that day or that weekend, I'd be happy.
Okay.
Yeah, I miss all my people. I miss all you guys. But it's just strictly like a event organizer standpoint. I am super excited about Derek's double super team event.
The grand team event.
Yeah,
the working name was the double doubles for the longest time because we didn't have a big name for it.
Right,
because we did have a team event.
Yeah, so we just kept calling. Well, it's doubles, but double the size, so it's double doubles.
It's because in Michigan we have Tim Hortons, and you can order your coffee double. Yeah. It's just 2 creams, 2 sugars.
So, but that's going to be the thing. I think that is just how fun and wild the standard doubles teams events are, and how packed and how everyone loves it. And now we're going to be able to expand that into like an even bigger, wilder event. That's, man, I'm stoked for that.
I'm looking forward to seeing if people get really intricate display boards together.
Yeah, Duncan, they're looking forward to people getting display boards.
I know,
together.
This is the first year we're doing it, so
if they do matching, I'll be happy with matching shirts. Honestly, I think that'll be cool.
Jerseys. I think shirts and shoes are required in the venue, so skins. But I know this is the first year we're doing it too, so I don't expect anything super grand, but we want to get it started and look forward to future years for even grander display boards and armies and team uniforms and
every adventure starts with a first step.
That's exactly right.
But we wanted to make sure.
I kind of spearheaded the whole thing by having music playing last year. Y'all should at least be able to do that.
I don't know what the sound systems are going to be like there, but hopefully we'll find out soon, so that way we don't have to. Because I in previous years I've had to bring like my traveling like tiny portable speaker box and microphone box, but if
I'm at my display base playing music last year.
I don't know how big the rooms are, or if we're gonna have sound systems, but I would really like to have a greater sound projection.
Yeah,
that is on the wish list.
It's going to be a learning experience for us, no matter what. But
absolutely, I know. Me personally, and Duncan, if his microphone works, you can confirm this. But the one thing that I have been missing from Heresy is the 4-person team. AdeptiCon was not the first event I went to, but it was the first event that I wanted to go to over and over again because I've had so much fun for the 4-person team. Just the getting ready for it, the workshopping with your friends,
setting up hobby nights,
Yeah, it's just it turns into such a big investment of a group of your close friends. No matter how close or far apart you are, getting together, pulling together, coming up with lists, coming up with a theme, coming up with a display board, which is the hardest thing to do. Coming together as a unit and getting it figured out. It
can be very exciting and very fun. Even if the fun for you is the year-long process of doing it, then do it.
As Shia LaBeouf says, just do
it. Let your dreams be dreams.
Yeah, and that's kind of like what we've been itching to get the okay once our submissions were in, to be able to talk about that particular event. so people can also, we can share it with everyone. Everyone can, who wants to play in it, can start preparing and getting their people together and all that stuff. So
I'm
yeah,
not gonna lie.
If you are
it's
looking
been
for,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Derek.
obviously, if you're looking for additional teammates, the Facebook group for AdeptiCon Horus Heresy will be the first place you would want to look. There may be other places coming soon, but those are possibly still in the works.
I'm not gonna lie. It was been the hardest thing for me to keep quiet about.
What was it?
What?
The 4-person's team, because the moment that idea was first floated, and wherever it was first floated, I've been like, I want to tell everybody because I know what we can do as a community with that.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
It's
Absolutely.
possibilities are endless. Even they're endless.
Well, look at how many players that we had that came over from like everyone came over eventually from standard 40K, but even at Adepticon, like there are a lot of people that were in doing the large teams events and the friendlies and everything else that eventually came over to us, and now we finally have the
even systems from outside of Games Workshop, like even some like I there's like a group of Infinity players that from Corvus Belli, the skirmish game that were like, yeah, like Heresy is our other favorite game.
Mm-hmm. I love hearing that so much.
No, the hobby scene has evolved in a very good way these past 10 years.
I'll agree there, utterly.
I think COVID helped it thrive for sure.
Yeah.
All right. What else should we, or do y'all want to cover for this? Do we have and I can cut this out if I need to. Do we have an ETA on when we're going to start releasing stuff to the public?
Individual events?
Probably next month for sure. We'd like to get some of this information out as soon as possible. Like Zach said earlier, it was kind of hard to really announce, but because before we submitted events, it was things we wanted to do, but we wanted to make sure that everything was going to be submitted successfully and accepted before we started telling people what we were doing. Because the last thing we want to do is like, hey, we're going to do this fantastic event, and then find out, we don't have the capacity for it.
Right. So
no one wants that.
No. So we've set up our initial capacity to be exactly like the previous year's Heresy events, including the number of people that were initially for wait lists. So that is where we're currently at. There's logistical stuff behind the scenes that that is ongoing, but ideally, if you want to play, we're going to find a way to get you in, just like every other year.
Absolutely, and I can guarantee for somebody that has gone to AdeptiCon, I'm looking at my lanyards right now more times than I can count while I'm just sitting here looking at my lanyards. It's a great show every single year. I can speak from somebody who has been a part of Zach's events in the background, and Derek's events in the background. They do a fantastic job of making sure everything is squared away and running smoothly. And I can't speak for everybody, but thank you all for all the footwork that you all have been doing to get us to this point. And then all the continued steps that you all will be making moving forward to get us to the goal line, and then all the steps that you'll be doing to get 2026 ready also.
Absolutely.
Well, the events are only as good as like our events are only as good as the crew of people we have to keep them going, and only as good as the community of players that we have, honestly. Because once
we just set stuff up, but what makes the games great are the players.
That's it, and that's why we've said before that the Heresy Adepticon is more like a family reunion than anything, than an actual like convention. We add new people, and then suddenly, one person comes in for, an event kind of on a lark, and then they've been there every year since. And it's fantastic to see that it's mattered so much, and they've enjoyed it so much that, you know, they just continuously come back, and I don't know, it's it's heartwarming to sit back and kind of watch the community grow like that.
I look forward to it every year.
Mm-hmm.
All
I think
year.
we all do.
Oh, absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything that we need to cover that I have not asked or we have not talked about? All right. So, I know I have, for some reason, done most of the talking tonight. Are there any questions that we have as a cast as far as anything that we can do, or any questions about the setup that would be, you know, beneficial for our listeners to know? Like, how many woods could a woodchuck chucks? Do we know what the swag is going to be this year? Is Zac actually going to play a game like he never gets to do because he's too busy running around?
I've played Zac in probably 3 games. It's just these past 6 months, so he's gotten games in.
He never plays at Adepticon.
Not at Adepticon. Once I started running things, I enjoy helping everybody, and I'll be there with my army to be a ringer in case that pops up. But you know, I hope to get a game in, but that's secondary to me currently. So,
well, I'm pretty sure you're off on Thursday, and there's 2 events going on ran by 2 other yahoos. Just saying.
Yes, yeah. I will try to get myself in there, but I also like to make sure I'm available in case I'm needed for anything. So
it's called delegation.
But
so what you're saying is you're gonna try to get a game in, and you're hopeful, but you don't know it's gonna work yet.
Yeah, I'll sign up, but if the space is needed, you know, I'll be, you know, first to drop out or pass it on to somebody else. That's, you know. That is the plan. But I think honestly the biggest thing is now that we're talking about it, and as soon as this episode drops, start talking to your people, talking to your friends, you know, getting your plan to make it to Adepticon. Because most people, if they're going to go to Adepticon, they kind of start thinking about it ahead of time, like, oh, we're going to do this. Well, now you have actual bigger event plans to make. If you want to do teams, you just have your other buddy, like, hey man, you want to play? Sure, no problem, let's go. Now you have a 4-person team.
Find your buddy's buddy, and then all
there
of
you go.
I wonder why I've been talking about.
So as usual, spread the word, and the word is heresy.
If only somebody that's in charge of Discord could maybe throw up a group of, I'm going to Adepticon and I want to play on the teams.
I really don't know who we could ask about that.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Use the internet to help find people.
Yeah.
I don't think it's been
for
done.
Dudes.
I don't think it could be done.
We don't
but
have the
you know
technology.
what? It's in the wide world of the web, anything could happen.
I love making Duncan do stuff. All right. What else do y'all want to convey?
He can't even slap you around it for being a bad idea this time.
Nope.
Because we all agree it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
What else should we cover, or do we need to cover for this?
I think that was a lot of the big stuff.
Okay.
Some of the big announcements and the events that we plan on running, and the Grail Abyss campaign we plan on telling a story or the players telling a story for the whole weekend. And the things we're looking forward to.
Okay. Duncan, John, Dan, anything else you all can think about?
Channel.
So close, Duncan. So close. I think he said.
I think he said he's busy creating a channel.
Oh, good, outstanding.
Yeah, in our Discord.
Outstanding.
Yeah. Well, that's helpful.
Yes, I just made an Adepticon 2025 channel.
There we go.
Yeah.
Either that, or he was saying he lost the remote and he had to get up and change the channel on the TV,
That
like in
wanted
the
to.
olden days. That I only remember probably here. But
Duncan, where could people find a link to our Discord at?
HeresyPodcast.com.
HeresyPodcast.com. All right.
We'll probably also throw a link up on the Facebook page here shortly as well.
Yep, I will. If you all good with this, I'll put this on the Facebook page. I'll put links in the description to all the appropriate stuff that needs to be linked to. As of the recording of this podcast, there has been no official dropping documentation. Just so in case you're looking for that link, that will not be up there, and I will not.
That is still forthcoming.
Yep, and I will not remember to go back to this podcast and add that link in the future. So don't look for it in the future either. Future podcasts, more than likely. So
also, if you're new to AdeptiCon, I forget what it exactly is, but it's the AdeptiCon Horus Heresy Facebook group is a pretty active,
very, very active
and positive.
Yeah, and just wait till we start closing in on AdeptiCon, and you'll be getting pings from that all day long.
Dan, I thought you were going to say if anybody's new to AdeptiCon, reach out to myself, Dan, and I will be your friend. I thought you were going to say that, but I guess not.
I mean,
Dan's a friendly guy. I can't think of anyone who would dislike Dan.
There's very few people in the heresy community, at the least, that I'm probably not friends with or wouldn't enjoy being friends with.
But all seriously,
that's a very two-edged sword statement there, Dan.
Even if the Titan with no arms guy was sitting in front of me, I might laugh at him, but I'd probably end up being friends with him anyway.
Yeah, and if you have any questions about the events that we're planning, that you don't want to just post online or whatever, you just want to send a quick email. Just send an email to Horus Heresy Adepticon. It's all one word at gmail.com, and we'll get to it.
Yeah, and don't forget we as a group, like Zach, myself, John, Dan, Duncan, if his microphone work, Derek, we're all here. So feel free to jump into Discord, ask us questions. We have hobby hangouts every Wednesday night. If you're new to it or you want to know what to expect, hop in there, ask some question. A lot of the people that are in that Discord have been to AdeptiCon and can tell you about their experiences.
Although to be fair, if you ask me questions about specific events, I'm going to say, I don't know. You guys got to talk to the rest of them because I'm not running. But
just talk to me or Zach, and either of us would be happy to answer any question.
Yeah. And if 2 Adepticons over the last 15 years, so
I will throw out there, because I always offer this: if you're traveling from faraway lands, and somehow or another you'd rather ship your army rather than
fly with it
or whatever. I am still local enough and have a big pickup truck that you could reach out to me and ship your army to me, and I will make sure it gets delivered to the hotel. So or I've had sponsor stuff sent to my house and paints for painting lessons for people doing painting lessons, anything like that. It's always an option. It's an hour away from me now rather than being around the block. So I plan on leaving Wednesday and driving up there and staying for the weekend. So it's got to be here before Tuesday of the event. But that's something that I will throw out again as an offer. So,
and thank you, Dan. All right, I think we've basted this turkey.
Sounds about right.
Fantastic.
All right, Duncan, well, first off, Zach, Derek, thank you very much for coming on tonight.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for doing all the heavy work in this episode, because normally I make Duncan do it. But farts and chlamydia and all that good stuff.
Computer death.
Yep.
I think he actually planned it, and his computer's actually fine.
I wish. Given our history, it's not true.
All right, I'm going to try
Maybe
this
Duncan
once.
is becoming a mechanicum.
Maybe no,
God, I
his
hope not.
his
Voice
stuff to
is
work.
just becoming robotic.
I think
It's got a lot of scrap code.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming on. Thank you for joining this episode. And I'm going to try this once, and hopefully I don't have to do it myself. Hey, Duncan, tell John to take us out of this.
John, take us out of here.
Absolutely. So, as Jack was saying, we appreciate everyone joining us for our 101st episode of Heresy the Accountability Buddies. I've been John and joined by
Dan.
Duncan.
Jack.
and, of course, our special guest.
I was Zach.
And I'm Derek.
And we hope that you'll stay accountable to yourself, to your buddies, and to your hobbies. And hopefully you'll join us next week. Good night.
Thank you. I love you. Bye-bye now. There you go.
Like and subscribe, and see ya.